Before we even get into the Monday Night Raw review, or lack thereof, a Monday Night Raw review, because this show was completely fucking miserable, I want to make mention of two things. Number one, WWE 2K17, My Career, episode number 7, live on the channel right now. I would greatly appreciate if you guys, even if that's not your cup of coffee, man, everybody watching, everybody listening to this Raw review that usually gets 25 to 30,000 plus views every Monday, over 1,000 likes, every fucking one of you, I wish you'd go over there and leave a thumbs up on that video, man. Seriously. It is without question the best episode I've done so far. 2 unbelievable matches for Mr. 9 to 5. And if you don't know what I'm doing with 2K17 and you don't know what My Career is, give it a listen. Give it a watch. You're going to enjoy yourself, man. Besides Off The Script, it's my favorite thing going on the channel right now. Everybody go over there and leave a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Number 2, I will be live on Thursday, YouTube Gaming. Our first episode for the Goon City Wrestling, the GCW draft, is over. And our first show is taking place this Thursday, courtesy of JD's vision of Monday Night Raw. So if you guys love my WWE 2K17 live streams and 2K live streams in universe mode, you're going to love this, man. Episode number 1 will go head to head with TNA Impact on Pop TV. Mark it down on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. The only thing going into this, as we know, if you guys watch my 2K16 King of the Ring tournament, AJ Styles won that tournament. He is the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship. What's going to happen? We're going to find out, man. So make sure you guys tune into the live stream, okay? Now, that's out of the way. No more shameless plugs. This show was completely fucking disgusting, man. Goldberg's return to Monday Night Raw was the big thing that WWE hyped. I'm surprised if anybody remembered Goldberg was going to be on the show. I would be shocked if anybody actually gave a fuck if Goldberg was actually there or not by hour 3. By the time Goldberg came out, I would be shocked to see anybody still awake by the time Goldberg actually came out, and you see the little sparklers come on the stage, and you're seeing everybody fucking clapping for Goldberg's return as he's walking down the hallways in the back, and he's coming through the curtain. Was anybody awake? Did anybody make it to the end of Raw? Did anybody make it out of the first half an hour of Raw, is the better question. I don't know. This show continues to get worse. This show continues to become more and more illogical. This show continues to make its fans look like fucking retards. But the casuals don't care. The casuals like to be treated like a fucking retard. Meanwhile, the people at home watching the show like me and you were questioning everything WWE is doing. And I don't understand anything that this show is trying to get across. Now, throughout the show, they showed clips of WCW Nitro, starting with Goldberg's first match against fucking Hugh Morris, right? They showed Hugh Morris getting jackhammered. And then they went on to show Goldberg and how great of a feat it was when he challenged Hulk Hogan. He was the first man in WCW history to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship undefeated. He was the United States champion going into that match. 50,000 fucking people at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta as he went one-on-one with the most hated man in the business at the time, Hollywood Hogan, who was part of, obviously, the greatest faction in professional wrestling, the New World Order, the original New World Order, not the fucking 16 different fucking concepts that we seen after the fact. Now, the one thing I was thinking when WWE was showing these clips was, holy shit, this was actually wrestling on a Monday night. This was when wrestling on a Monday night was important. This is when you were a young child and you could barely fucking go to sleep. You were so excited. Because if you missed something, you'd be the odd man out going to school the next morning, sitting in homeroom, Well, everybody's fucking, did you see Monday Night Raw? Did you see Nitro? Did you see this? Did you see that? You know? You had to be the cool kid staying up, watching either Raw or SmackDown, because there was no way to watch both shows unless you had fucking two TVs going on at the same time, side by side, or in different rooms. You know, you were either WCW or you were with Monday Night Raw. You didn't want to miss anything during the Monday Night Wars. You didn't want to miss anything on Nitro. You didn't want to miss anything on Monday Night Raw, right? So, you stayed awake for every second that those shows aired back in the day on TNT and USA. Or whatever fucking station WWE was on. TNN, Spike TV, whatever the fuck station they were on. USA. But you look at now how vastly different the shows are, man. WWE showing all these fucking epic highlights of Goldberg jackhammering Hogan and winning the title, and people throwing trash in the ring, and fucking people going crazy. On a Monday night, you have a 50,000 seat arena on Monday night watching this man win the WCW World Championship. WWE could never in their wildest dreams think to fill 50,000 people on a Monday night with what we're seeing nowadays, man. That's when wrestling was important. And I'm thinking, watching this, how did they fuck up Monday night so bad? How did they stray from what made Monday Night Wrestling so unforgettable? How did they stray off the path so far to make Monday Night Raw completely fucking garbage, man? There's nothing raw about Monday anymore. It's not. They should completely change the name of the fucking show. And I'm watching these highlights, and I'm thinking back to when days were good, and I'm thinking back to what made me a fucking fan. And I look at what we see now, and I feel nothing but nausea. I feel disgust. I feel ashamed to be a wrestling fan. It's painful to sit through these shows, man. It's painful to sit through Monday Night Raw in its current state. And everything that they showed tonight, WWE never, ever, 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 ever could ever recreate what made Monday Night Wrestling so important and so special to everybody. It's a shame. All the highlights they showed of Goldberg were actually better than the actual legit part of the show that they aired tonight on the USA Network. And that's a damn shame, man. I'm disgusted to be a wrestling fan right now. This show was centered around Goldberg, and we had to wait till 11:05 for this man to utter one single word. And by the time we got there, most of the people watching didn't even give a fuck that Goldberg was actually in the building. That's how bad this show was. I even made a comment on Twitter. I'm surprised that Goldberg is actually proud to be a part of this fucking mess. He's probably looking at what's going on, and he's watching the fucking show in the back on the monitors. He's like, what the fuck did I walk myself into? This is WWE? There's no fucking balls here. It's completely fucking childish. It's terrible. Anyway, Goldberg came out, and the guy was literally showered with chants, man. Chanted his name. Holy shit. This is awesome. The crowd in Denver showed Goldberg the proper respect that I was hoping they would give him. And I'm very happy that they did. I'm a Goldberg fan. And I was always pro WWE. I didn't watch back in the day when Goldberg did his thing. That's why I got the WWE Network. I can go back and relive those moments and realize how special they were. Especially moments like that in which I did not see happen as they happened because I was too busy fucking being pro WWE. When I went to high school, everybody in my high school class was WCW. Everybody talked about Nitro. Did you see Nitro? Did you see Nitro? I'm the only fucking clown in class, you know, watching Monday Night Raw. If my parents allowed me to watch Monday Night Raw. There was a part of my childhood where my parents didn't even allow me to watch Monday Night Raw, you know? They either had to tape it on a VHS and I had to watch it the next day after school, or it was too late for me to watch as it aired at 9 o'clock. I had to be in bed when I was a young child, when I was a young JD, you know? But that's why we got the network. And I was the only one in my high school class or my class in general, whether I was in grade school or high school, who loved Monday Night Raw. Everybody was pro WCW, man. They were loving what the NWO was doing. They were loving what Goldberg was doing, and everybody else associated with the growth of WCW, man. They all had the WWE guys, the ex-WWE guys over there, Piper and Savage and Warrior, Flair, right? So to see all that happen now, and to see Goldberg come out and have him be received the same way he did when he was there in WCW back in its prime was a great sight, man. And I'm happy for him because he legit came out tonight and he looked thrilled to be there. He had this genuine, he still looked tough. He still looked and sounded like the badass Bill Goldberg should sound like. But his body language and his demeanor really showed you a genuine side that I'm not sure many of you picked up on. And he was proud to be there. And the reports going around before he even did this deal with WWE, he's been stating it before this deal with 2K happened where he was the DLC in 2K17. He's always talked about wanting to get back in the business if the time was right, if the deal was right, if the opponent was right. And the only reason why he wanted to get back in the ring was for his son. His son was there in the audience tonight. His wife was there, tears running down her eyes, and it was a completely genuine and heartfelt moment. And it was legit the best part of the show. Now, you guys know how I despise Monday Night Raw, and I'm very critical of the product because I care. But to sit through 3 hours of complete fucking nauseating garbage to get to what we seen with Goldberg, I think it was worth it, man. I was happy to see him. I'm very proud of Denver for giving him the reaction that I think he deserved. It was a heartfelt moment to see his wife and son in the crowd. And Goldberg is actually pretty decent on the microphone, man. And he said the right things tonight. It's about coming back. And he thought and contemplated, do I really come back? Is it worth it? And then he talked about traveling the world for 2K, doing promotion and seeing the kids and being a hero to everybody and have Goldberg be a hero to these young children because there's not enough heroes in this world, man. Shameless plug, The Last Hero by Alter Bridge. Go out and listen to it, please. Go out and listen to it. That's all I thought about when I listen to Goldberg talk about heroes, man. There's not many heroes left. And Alter Bridge aptly named their title of the new album, The Last Hero. Go and download it. Go YouTube it. Go Spotify it. iTunes, whatever. It's worth 50 minutes of your time. Brilliant fucking music. Especially the title track. Unbelievable. Goldberg talked that there was not many heroes left in this world, man. That's the reason why he's back. For the kids. 50 years old. He looks fantastic. And he pretty much, after everything and explaining why he's back, does he have one more devastating jackhammer left in him? Does he have one more ass-kicking left in him? Does he have one more spear left in him? Quite frankly, the answer was yes. And he called out Brock Lesnar for not talking on his own behalf and having his little fat weasel, Paul Heyman, do all the talking. So, obviously, Goldberg accepted the challenge. They didn't give a day. They didn't give a time. They didn't give an event. Brock Lesnar is scheduled to be in Minneapolis next week on Monday Night Raw, his hometown. He's probably going to get a hero's welcome there. And I'm assuming Lesnar is going to accept the challenge, and they'll probably name a day, a time, and a place for this to go down. A lot of people talking Survivor Series. That's what's been reported. There's several people in the community stating that this should happen at the Royal Rumble. Some people are saying that it should happen at WrestleMania. I don't think it should happen at WrestleMania because I don't think WWE can book a show going into next week. You want them to fucking book a show going into WrestleMania? Please, that's too long. And plus, I think I have a better opponent lined up for Brock Lesnar, or I have a list of opponents I would rather have Brock Lesnar go against at WrestleMania besides Goldberg. Survivor Series needs a selling point. Royal Rumble needs a selling point, being that you're going to be seating 70,000 fucking people at the Alamo Dome. WWE talking about getting Shawn Michaels, he doesn't want to come out of retirement. WWE always has Kurt Angle in the back pocket if they want to lure him as a special entrant in the Royal Rumble. They're talking about The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Many of these options probably won't come to be. So the Royal Rumble would be another great option for this match to have happen. But I think it's going to happen at Survivor Series. It's been talked about. Meltzer's talked about it. And there's nothing else to it, man. There really is nothing else to it. And then after the interview was over, Goldberg, decent on the microphone. He held his own. He spoke very well. And he went around shaking kids' hands and holding kids on his shoulders. He took his son and held him on his shoulder. His wife was crying, taking pictures. It was a great moment. Monday Night Raw was awful, and it made the 3 hours to sit through that garbage worth it to see what happened with Goldberg tonight, man. It was great to see him. The crowd gave him a great reaction. The music just brought back memories, man. The theme music, the fucking intro, the pyro. Corey Graves really sold it very well. He had chills. He doesn't believe what he's seen tonight. This is a great moment. It was a great moment, and we don't usually see moments like that on Monday Night Raw, and I'm glad I stayed awake to see what happened tonight with Goldberg because it was certainly worth the wait, and I'm very excited that he's back. He says that Goldberg is next, and Goldberg will be last. That was the last thing he said tonight. Goldberg said Lesnar will be last. Now, we don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure. If this goes as planned, and Goldberg really impresses everybody with the reaction and the merchandise and the ticket sales and the subscriptions and everything comes into play and the stars align, we could very well see Goldberg in another match. This could be a one and done. Or they could do the rubber match, being that, Lesnar won at WrestleMania, Goldberg won at WrestleMania 20. Lesnar's going to get his win back whenever this happens. They can have the rubber match if they want, at the Rumble or at WrestleMania. This might lead to another Goldberg match. Or if they want someone completely new, they could put him in a match at WrestleMania against an unnamed opponent. And then they could use Goldberg to put a young guy over, like a Roman Reigns or something like that. I don't know. Roman Reigns is being discussed for a match with Bill Goldberg. And obviously with WrestleMania comes a Hall of Fame induction. But it was great to see tonight. And those moments rarely are seen in WWE, recently anyway. But it was a great thing to see, and I was very happy that I stayed awake, and I was awake for most of what Goldberg said tonight because it was very, very special. What was not special was Monday Night Raw. From Denver, Colorado, the Pepsi Center. I don't know what is going on with this show, man. I don't know I don't know how far they strayed from making this show one of the worst things on television. This was a juggernaut on Monday nights. This was something that we were legit excited for, man. The only reason why we watch Monday Night Raw nowadays is because we have hope that something's going to go off in the back and WWE's going to put on a good show. And still, they cannot put on a good show. Even with a half a roster. They split the rosters to give equal opportunity to certain, or I should say several, WWE superstars, man. Half of the fucking talent that we see on Monday Night Raw is not over. Some of the talent that should have been really amped up as far as this draft and this brand extension goes has been treated like complete garbage, man. What is this, like the 6th week in a row we haven't seen Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Half of the women aren't shown. Summer Rae, Alicia Fox. Where the fuck are these women? Where are these women? I mean, you got Neville on Monday Night Raw. The guy is nothing but a certified fucking jobber. Meanwhile, the guy should be fighting at least for the United States Championship. Or he should be at least, if you want to use him and get his fucking name out there and get this guy over as the fucking top tier talent that he really is, put him in the Cruiserweight division. What is Monday Night Raw doing? What are the creative minds in WWE doing? I mean, there were several instances where I just scratched my head again every fucking week. It seems like I'm scratching my head more and more. There's a certain part of my head that I scratch where I'm dumbfounded about what I see on television. I'm going bald at my young age, man. What is this show doing? What is this show doing? Before you know it, I'm not going to have any hair to scratch because I would have pulled it all out watching this fucking show. We opened the show with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. They opened the show. Obviously, Kevin Owens is in a Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. And they come out, and Chris Jericho pretty much proclaims that he beat The Rock, he beat Austin, he beat The Undertaker, he beat The Rock and Austin in the same night. They always harp back on that, which I don't mind, you know? But they blamed last week and Jericho's loss on the referee. And obviously, being that they blamed the referee, they put the referee on the list. The referee made the list. Rollins comes out, huge pop for Seth Rollins. And this turns into a battle of childish insults, you know? Seth Rollins comes out, and you listen to these guys go back and forth, and you might not even realize that these guys are fighting for a championship. These guys are fighting for a universal championship, the championship that was created to be the number one championship for the number one guy on Monday Night Raw. The number one, and I'm using that loosely with quotation fingers, the number one show in WWE. As far as I go, Smackdown is the number one show. Raw is number 3. NXT is better than Monday Night Raw. But Rollins is not so much in a conversation with Owens. It's more so Jericho. And he calls Jericho Sparkle Crotch. Makes fun of his scarf. Makes fun of his stupid tattoos. His trunks. And then he calls Jericho Sparkle Crotch. So now we've gotten to the point where Jericho is being called Sparkle Crotch. The Universal title has taken a back seat. But then I'm supposed to believe that Jericho is more important than anything going on with the World Championship on Monday Night Raw. But then you look at Hell in a Cell, it's Owens versus Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. What conflict? What struggle? What issue is there between Rollins and Owens that they need to be inside Hell in a Cell? I don't know. They really haven't shown me anything, and there's 1 week left till Hell in a Cell. Why are these guys inside Hell in a Cell? There's no personal issue here. There's no personal vendetta against either one of these guys. So, why am I going to be hyped for a Hell in a Cell match between two guys in which the term Sparkle Crotch is being used? I don't know, man. I don't know. Are they fighting? Are they fighting over the fucking the VHS time to watch Barney and Friends before bed? Or are they fighting for the Universal Championship? And what the fuck's going on here? I mean, who scripted this shit? Again, I ask. Hell in a Cell. You know? This was a blow-off for the likes of Foley and Mankind. People feared for their careers going inside Hell in a Cell. And I'm going to make this a point throughout the rest of this fucking review. People feared going inside Hell in a Cell. Do Rollins and Owens fear anything about going inside Hell in a Cell? I mean, they haven't made mention of it. They haven't made mention of their careers, or, you know, Kevin Owens made mention, or Mick Foley's is disrespecting me. He's putting me in a match that ended his career. But they're really not building on that. They're not showing, you know, Owens or Rollins being afraid of what is to come. They haven't even highlighted the United States. They haven't done that either. The Universal Championship. Nothing of the such between Rollins and Owens for the Universal Championship. It's all about Chris Jericho. So why am I going to believe about these guys, or why am I going to be invested in these guys inside that structure? I'm not. It's disgusting. Sparkle Crotch. Sparkle Crotch. That's what this entire segment was built off of. Sparkle Crotch. Somewhere Alexa Bliss is smiling. Sparkle Splash. Sparkle Crotch. You know? Whatever. Anyway, this led to a match between Jericho and Seth Rollins. Again, last week was decent, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was the fucking match of the year, but we get it again. And this time, Owens said, I'm not going to get involved. Rollins comes out, and he makes mention that, you know, Jericho was taking a pedigree, and Kevin Owens was walking away. He did nothing to save his so-called best friend. And obviously, dissension is building there, and Kevin Owens is trying to play it off as Foley and Rollins, causing dissension between two best buddies. So, you know what? Owens said, I'm going to go to the back. You could do this on your own. You know? Jericho says, yeah, I could do this on my own. I could beat Rollins on my own. I don't need no help. So Owens went to the back. So Obviously, in typical WWE fashion, before the match was coming to a close, Owens comes out and he gets involved by holding the ropes. Rollins is reaching for the ropes as he's in the Walls of Jericho, aka a modified Boston Crab, and he reaches for the ropes, and the referee sees this, pulling the ropes back, and Jericho gets distracted. Jericho goes with an enziguri, he goes for a code breaker, it's all countered into a pedigree. Rollins wins, 14 minutes and 36 seconds, and that was pretty much it. After that, Owens and Jericho have a little scuffle in the back. Jericho was on the tip of his tongue going to call Kevin Owens a stupid, and he stopped himself. And Owens was like, what were you going to call me? And they're bickering back and forth. Stephanie McMahon interjects and says they both need to calm down. There's bigger things to worry about. Don't you see what Seth Rollins is trying to do? They're trying to break up this so-called friendship. I can't have this happen. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan just issued a challenge to this fucking brand for Survivor Series, and you two are two of my leading generals. I need you on the same page. I need you on the same team so that we can beat Smackdown at the Survivor Series in the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match. So all of that was squashed. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for what is announced later on in the show, okay? So Stephanie McMahon puts a squash to all of this, and like I said, these guys and their names will be brought up later in the show after a segment with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon. Goes to show you how stupid WWE is and how forgetful they are after what just happened 2 hours before we seen Stephanie and Mick Foley together in her office on their show. Just keep that in mind. We have Lita sit down with Charlotte, and she sat down with both Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I zoned out and tuned out to both of these interviews because, number one, they were cringeworthy. Number two, nothing you say is going to get me interested in this feud or this match. It is over. It is dead to me. And Lita has the fucking balls on her to make mention, are they going to make history? This match had the likes of Foley and The Undertaker and Triple H and everybody else, Cactus Jack and whoever else was in this fucking match, The Rock, Austin, all these fucking big names that made a living and made this match what it is. Just by the mere breath of Lita saying these individuals' names as she sits down and talks to Sasha and Charlotte, it's disrespect mentioning those names inside this match, or in regards to this match, to these two women. Because we all know, no matter how much of a revolution this is, no matter how much of a first-time event we're making history this is, it will never, ever, 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 ever come close to what any of those guys did. Oh, well, JD, it's not supposed to come close to anything those guys did for Hell in a Cell. Then why are you having it? Then why are you having this match? Why is this match being contested inside Satan's structure? Why? Because this is a first? Because WWE is so bent on creating history? They're not going to use the cell. I mentioned this on Off The Script today. Part 4, if you missed it, link is down below. Why are they having this match? Why is this match being contested inside Hell in a Cell? I'll give you a reason why. And Rusty, a.k.a. Falcon, who I am working with on 2K17 Universe Mode, he DM'd me on Twitter, and he said, you want to know why this match is main eventing Hell in a Cell? It's because it's the last day for Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's all it is. That's all it is. It is a marketing fucking ploy. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. And they're using the two biggest names in their women's division by putting them inside Hell in a Cell to show women can do it just as good as the men do. And it's sickening because I don't want to see a woman's body being thrown around inside Hell in a Cell. It's not intended for that. No matter how much history they're making, no matter how many firsts they're creating, it shouldn't happen. If you're not going to pay homage to what the structure is, then don't bother at all. The feud isn't even on the fucking level of what everybody else did with that structure. Foley, Mankind, Foley Mankind versus The Undertaker, and everybody else that fucking had a match after that. Michaels, Undertaker. You guys go back and watch the lineage of these fucking storylines in this fucking feud, or those feuds that happen inside Hell in a Cell. It was warranted that it end inside that structure. Whatever Charlotte and Sasha have done, it doesn't warrant an ending inside Hell in a Cell. You know? And it's all about first. It's all about a revolution. It's all about, you know, bringing awareness to the women's division. Let me tell you something, people. The women were bringing awareness to women's wrestling by doing absolutely nothing but wrestling down in NXT. Why do you need a gimmick? Why do you need a gimmick like Hell in a Cell to get across the women being a huge first in our history? Give me a break. Give me a break. Mixed with Susan G. Komen and WWE's desperation to fucking pander themselves and stroke their own fucking cock and their ego. That's why they're putting Sasha and Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell. And if you don't like what I'm telling you, you can fucking piss off. You can fucking lick my balls. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I know what I'm telling you is 100% logical. And it's common sense. If you don't like what I'm telling you, well, maybe you don't like hearing the truth. Go pander to some fucking other idiot on YouTube.com and have them continue to stroke WWE's cock and feed you the fucking bullshit that these people think they're going to get into the WWE. They think they're going to get a job with Vince by fucking talking all positive and giving you nothing but fucking positive reviews and not giving you anything negative about Monday Night Raw. What is positive about Monday Night Raw? What is positive about this show? I mean, after we got this fucking sit-down, which was nauseating, with Lita and Charlotte, we go into Golden Truth versus the Shining Stars. In fact, it was a 6-man tag. Let me add more cancer on top of that. Golden Truth and Mark Henry versus the Shining Stars and Titus O'Neil. What did I do on this Monday to be punished? I mean, what did I do on this Monday that I have to fucking be tortured by sitting through this garbage? Do you want to know why this match took place? Because the Shining Stars sold R-Truth fake Rolexes. I kid you not. This is the best WWE has to offer. This is the best in terms of creative writing that WWE is offering you. Golden Truth and Mark Henry versus the Shining Stars and Titus O'Neil, fighting over the fact that the fucking timeshare kings sold R-Truth fake Rolexes. I don't believe it. You know what? Go a step further. Why don't you put them inside Hell in a Cell? Hang the Rolexes from the fucking cage. Just put a ladder in there and just fucking have a ladder match inside Hell in a Cell with the fucking fake Rolexes hanging from the ceiling. Seriously. Why is this on my television? This is absolutely a waste of fucking time. And we had to sit through 3 minutes of this. 3 minutes of this we had to sit through. And nobody made a fucking peep. Every one of these guys is Get Off My TV alum. And they're not even on the fucking shirt. I'm appointing them honorary Get Off My TV. Every single fucking one of these guys. Absolutely a waste of everybody's fucking time. Next we had the New Day come out. And apparently they are champions for 420 days in Denver, Colorado. Wasn't Colorado the first state that legalized marijuana? Great job, WWE. Inconspicuously pandering to the fucking potheads of the United States of America. That's great. You know, I want to know how many people got that reference when they came out and started holding fucking 420 signs. Give me a break. Seriously. Big E versus Sheamus. I'll give the New Day their due, man. They are entertaining. It is a little overdone, and it is outplayed. It is a little stale. I'll give them that. But there's still one of the more entertaining aspects of this dreadful fucking show. Xavier Woods is brilliant at what he does. He's great on the microphone, and I laugh and I'm entertained thoroughly, and I listen to what this man says, and I'm entertained by his theatrics. They're entertaining to me. And Big E and his gyrating, you know, still, to this day, better than anything on Monday Night Raw. And I like their act. It is getting a little too much. They need to lose the titles. Those titles need to go to somebody else, you know. There are other teams that deserve the belts. Enzo and Cass, Club, One of those two teams should be tag team champions. But this match took place tonight, Big E versus Sheamus, and this match went 10 minutes. This was nothing. This was absolutely nothing but Cesaro live streaming through his phone on Facebook Live, interrupting Sheamus and costing Sheamus the match. That's all it was. Big E beat Sheamus with a roll-up, and it was a distraction roll-up, and he lost due to his tag team partner. And you know what? WWE, in typical WWE fashion, they booked the tag team title match, which is taking place at Hell in a Cell. It's supposed to be the New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus. They're booking that match a week before the pay-per-view. What is it with WWE taking one match or several matches? In this case, they're even putting Jericho in a triple threat with Owens and Rollins, which I'll talk about in a second. They're putting Owens and Rollins in the same ring a week before the pay-per-view. Why? They did it last week. They did it last week with Charlotte and Sasha and Roman Reigns and Rusev in a mixed tag team match. Why am I seeing these matches take place in tag team formats and triple threat formats? Why am I legit seeing the tag team championship match in a non-title match 1 week before the show? Why am I going to watch and be interested in what these guys do on the pay-per-view? It makes no sense. It takes all the fun out of a pay-per-view. The one thing that was fresh going into the pay-per-view is not fresh anymore because WWE is giving it to you for free a week before the show. Good job, WWE. Whoever is running things back there, I swear to God, is a clueless fucking goon. They don't know what they are doing. And I guarantee you, nobody that works for Monday Night Raw knows what they fucking want to do. The directive of this show, they are booking this by the hour. I would not be shocked. It is awful. And it reeks of a ton of fucking people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's disgusting. Big E beat Sheamus with a roll-up. Neville versus Bo Dallas. You know, there was a day and age where we were watching these guys in NXT and we thought to ourselves collectively, these are the two best things in NXT right now. You know, Neville, a former NXT world champion. Bo Dallas, an NXT world champion. I can't wait for these guys to show up on the main roster, right? They're going to have such a great career. These are great gimmicks. They're going to get over. They're going to be successful. Can't wait to see them get demoted to Monday Night Raw. So, that was how long ago? What, 2-3 years ago? Neville and Bo Dallas, circa 2016. Yeah, they're still on Monday Night Raw. And both of them are completely irrelevant. Neville more so than Bo Dallas nowadays. You know, a couple of years ago, it was the other way around. Neville was more important than Bo Dallas. Now in 2016, Bo Dallas is more important than Neville. And I state this because tonight, Bo Dallas beat Neville clean with his finishing move. Clean. And Curtis Axel lobbied for this match to happen. Bo Dallas turned on Curtis Axel after beating Neville tonight. I don't know what they're doing with Bo Dallas. And I stated this already. You guys know how I feel about Neville, the man that creative forgot. His new moniker, his new gimmick is now the man that creative clearly does not give a flying fuck about. And I'm not taking anything away from Bo Dallas, man. It's about fucking time they're using Bo Dallas in a way that benefits him. I like this dark, new, evil, sadistic Bo Dallas, man. I'm liking it. I don't think he should have beat Neville. You know? I don't think he should have beat Neville whatsoever. Why don't you send a fucking Mark Henry out there? Why don't you send one of the Shining Stars out there? Why don't you send a Curtis Axel out there to get beat by Bo Dallas? Why do you got to beat Neville? I don't understand the logic in that. You know, Neville is being so underutilized right now. This guy's one of the longest reigning NXT champions. This guy is being severely fucking punished for no reason. I mean, what is the reasoning for this guy's downfall and decline? Why is he not in the Cruiserweight division? Why is this guy not fighting for the United States Championship? Why doesn't this guy team with Sami Zayn and go after the fucking tag team titles? This is all they got for this guy? It's sickening to see the talent on Monday Night Raw that's being washed away due to creative fucking assholes who don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I get angry at this shit. Bo Dallas, I'm enjoying it, but I think the WWE could have went a different way. It's an upset. And one that really has a lot of people confused. Bo Dallas wins. He beats Neville with the roll of the dice. 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Dana Brooke. Jesus fucking Christ. Dana Brooke versus Bayley. Again, some women's revolution you got over there, right? You'll have some fucking feminist asshole. Oh, this guy hates the women. This guy talks bad about the women. No, asshole. I'm not talking about bad. I'm not talking bad about the women. I'm talking bad about WWE Creative not using the women. I want to see the women used. But what type of revolution is it when these are the only 2 women we've seen on this show compete in the ring? Where are the other fucking 5 women that you drafted? I mean, where are they? Are they on vacation? Are they, where are they? Did they get lost on the way to the arena? Did they get shipped to fucking New Japan? I don't know. Where is Alicia Fox? Where is Summer Rae? Why am I getting Emelina and not Evil Emma? Where the fuck is Nia Jax? You know, you build this woman up for fucking weeks, destroying woman after woman after woman. And now she's off TV for 4 weeks, 5 weeks? How am I supposed to take this woman as a credible threat? Unless the WWE is saving her for Hell in a Cell. I don't know. Are they going to pull a Kane with Nia Jax? Is Sasha Banks going to win in the main event and Nia Jax is going to fucking tear the door off his hinges and she's going to fucking destroy Sasha Banks in her hometown, declaring that she wants a title shot against Sasha Banks? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I mean, unless they're waiting for something like that, then okay. But where is this woman? Why is she not on my television? Hopefully they got something planned for her. That's the only fucking logical reason I could come up with. No, we get Dana Brooke instead. This match went 4 minutes. I'm surprised she didn't injure Bayley seriously. And again, Dana Brooke does what she does best. Botches. She was supposed to have a fucking dirty finish with her feet on the bottom rope, giving her a leverage pin. So what did she do? She fucked it up. She was too far away from the ropes. She was nowhere near the rope. And she ended up beating, instead of winning by a dirty leverage pin, she beat Bayley clean. And they immediately shifted attention from the ring because she knew, or they knew she fucked up, and they went to the next segment. So, what did we get out of this? We get Dana Brooke almost injuring Bayley seriously, and we get a clean win over Bayley on Monday Night Raw, in which it was not intended, it was supposed to be a dirty victory. Dana Brooke is fucking awful. Her wardrobe is fucking awful. I don't know whether she's fucking starring in a porno or going to sleep in nightwear or she's actually competing in a wrestling ring, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. What happened to her old NXT outfit? Please put her in the leather spandex and whatever this fucking Dancing with the Stars ballerina outfit fucking rigmarole looks like. It is absolutely fucking disgusting. It looks like she's gonna fall. It looks like she's gonna slip out of it any second. On top of that, she is so inept. She cannot do anything right. She's miserable in the ring. Have you seen this woman fucking take a turnbuckle shot? I mean, this woman is throwing her hands in the air as if she's doing the fucking wave at a fucking Texas Rangers game. What the fuck are they doing with this woman's revolution? This is a revolution now, right? This is what I'm supposed to be proud of. This woman can't even go to fucking Stop and Shop and bag groceries as a fucking cashier. She'd end up fucking ripping the bags. She'd fucking throw fucking eggs in the fucking basket along with fucking 2 tons of fucking soda and fucking all this heavy other shit and give it to the fucking customer. And here's your fucking eggs. You know? Give me a break, dude. This woman is an absolute fucking disgrace of a superstar. Why she's even on the main roster, I have no fucking idea, man. Send her down to whatever is below NXT. She don't even belong in NXT, man. You got Liv Morgan, you got fucking everybody. You got what's that woman's name? What's that fucking that woman's name in NXT that looks like Eva Marie? I don't even know the Mandy Rose. She is more polished than fucking Dana Brooke. What is going on here? Disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting, man. This woman, the simplest of things she can't get right. I'm surprised she could wake up in the morning. I'm surprised she could actually walk to the fucking bathroom and fucking line her toothbrush with toothpaste correctly. Seriously. This woman is absolutely fucking miserable at everything she does. How they got her on Raw, or why they decided to put her on Raw, is beyond me, man. I would take anybody in NXT at this point in time and replace her on Monday Night Raw. That's the way it is. Braun Strowman versus three jobbers. The Mile High Trio. The Mile High Trio. Seriously. One of these guys said that Braun Strowman is so big and he's not used to the Colorado mountain, Rocky Mountain air, that he's going to be out of breath. He's going to be winded. You know, the big guy's going to be winded due to the altitude and the air quality in Colorado. So obviously I stated on Twitter, I'm winded after I watched fucking 10 minutes of Monday Night Raw. I'm fucking winded. Never mind Braun Strowman. So Strowman versus the Mile High Trio. And these guys literally got slaughtered. Corey Graves called one of the guys, no way, Jose's less intimidating cousin. Perhaps not George. One guy looked, he actually looked like Colin Kaepernick. Michael Cole made a fucking joke that the guy looked like Colin Kaepernick, that fucking asshole. And the other two guys, I don't know, man. Who the fuck cares? These guys were picked up at the local fucking deli mart ordering a fucking pastrami sandwich. Hey, you wanna join Monday Night Raw roster and get slaughtered by Braun Strowman? We'll pay for your fucking sandwiches. So, oh, yeah, sure. WWE's lunch on the house. Sorry, whatever. And then they get in the ring with Braun Strowman. They get fucking wiped clean. Right? Braun Strowman beats these guys in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And then he says he's going to take matters into his own hands. This is the fucking trash you give me for competition. So he was about to go to the back. And Sami Zayn comes out. And he stares down Braun Strowman. I was about to have a fucking stroke when Sami Zayn came out. This is not the right man for Braun Strowman. Sami Zayn in his own right needs to be built up as something special. So that would make, before this, thank God nothing happened yet. Nothing happened yet with Sami Zayn. That would have made Neville, Bayley, and Sami Zayn all on the receiving end of embarrassments on Monday Night Raw. So much for NXT talent being the future of your company. You just bring them up from NXT after they develop such a huge fanfare and a name for themselves, and you place them on Monday Night Raw to job to Dana Brooke and be squashed by Braun Strowman. And to lose to Bo Dallas, who's been irrelevant for the last 2.5 years. Great job, Vince McMahon. Great job, man. This is your future. This is your organization in which NXT is supposed to be the future of the business, right? Meanwhile, you're taking all these guys and you're making them look like complete fucking jokes. Whoever wants to be promoted to Monday Night Raw, if you're working in NXT, let me tell you something, man. If any of you come across this video now, tonight, next week, next year, let me tell you something. If you think for a second that money is the most important thing because you're getting demoted to Monday Night Raw, and yes, I didn't fuck up. It is a demotion. If you think money is the most important thing to get demoted to Monday Night Raw, please do yourself a favor. Stay in NXT. I'm hearing that they have their travel compensated for. Their travel and their hotel compensated for when they go on the road. That doesn't happen on the main roster, right? And if you value your career, if you value what you've done in your career thus far up until this point, please do not go to Monday Night Raw. Your career will be ruined, and you will be embarrassed. People lose on Monday Night Raw and become demoralized on Monday Night Raw. Do you want that for yourself? Do you want that for yourself? Ask your question. Ask that question. Look yourself in the mirror when you wake up and when you go to sleep. And do I want to be demoralized by people who don't know how to book a proper wrestling show? Please ask yourself that question. I know what the answer is. No. Stay in NXT. Stay with the people who know how to book a wrestling show. Stay with the right minds of the business. Everybody that works at Full Sail has a right mind for the business. They care about the business. They care about their programming. On Monday Night Raw, I don't know what the fuck they care about. Obviously, they had too much ganja before the show. So, I don't know what's going on with Raw, but save your career. Stay in NXT or stay in TNA. Stay in New Japan. Stay in Ring of Honor. Do not go to Monday Night Raw. You will only feel terrible. Just ask Carl Anderson. He'll fucking come out and stay, oh yeah, I'm doing great. I'm making money. I got a hot Asian wife. Yeah, but your career is fucking just as bad as Bo Dallas on Monday Night Raw. Meanwhile, people are telling me this guy brought Shinsuke Nakamura to a fucking loss a couple of years back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This guy's a fucking animal. But where's that Carl Anderson? Why am I not seeing that Carl Anderson on Monday Night Raw? If this guy brought Shinsuke Nakamura to a fucking loss in New Japan, and this beast all of a sudden is a great fucking singles guy, where's this guy? Where's this Carl Anderson that you speak of? I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't know where he is or where he came from. Did his spirit be left behind? Did his spirit get left behind in New Japan? Who the fuck are we watching now? You ever watch that movie Men in Black where that farmer is taken over by the alien creature, right? And his face is all deformed. These guys fucking taking the glass of water and he's asking his wife to pour sugar in the water. He's like fucking down in the fucking water with shut. That's Carl Anderson. That is Carl Anderson to a T. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Absolutely fucking miserable. Absolutely miserable, this show. That brings us to Carl Anderson. He lost to Big Cass in 1 minute. Before I blinked, the match was over. That's the guy that beat Shinsuke Nakamura, though, at the Tokyo Dome, or whatever the fuck, or whatever event they had, right? This is the guy that beat Shinsuke Nakamura. Losing to Big Cass in 1 minute in front of Denver, Colorado, where half the crowd was probably stoned out of their minds. Carl Anderson, right? Yeah, sure. What else do we have to talk about here? Rusev has a fucking photo album that he's going over. He's showing his mother and his father. Listen, why is this happening? Rusev should have never even lost the title. Rusev should have won this feud. This is nothing but demoralizing Rusev. Again, they are killing WWE superstar after WWE superstar on this brand. Honestly, the best thing about this entire segment was the outfit Lana was wearing. Period. I have nothing else to say about this. Absolutely nothing. Why this is taking place in Hell in a Cell? Again, I asked the question. Why? There's nothing there. It was built off wedding fucking jokes and family photo albums shown by Rusev. But these guys are going to finish this unbelievable feud inside Hell in a Cell. Gone are the days of Foley and The Undertaker, man. Jesus Christ, what happened to the WWE that I once was in love with? I don't know. Cruiserweights, instead of coming out at 8 o'clock, again, they get the 10:30 time slot. At this point, people are fucking half comatose, and they don't give a fuck what's going on. Cedric Alexander, TJ Perkins, Rich Swann versus Brian Kedrick, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. Well, these guys got 7 minutes. And let me tell you something. These guys got 7 minutes, and half of it we missed because they went to commercial during this match. You have 3 hours to go to commercial, and you decide to go to commercial during the one match I actually give a fuck about on this show. You have all the time in the world to go to commercial, and this is the match you choose? You couldn't go to commercial in front of Rusev's fucking family, his photo album, right? You couldn't go to commercial during Bo Dallas. You couldn't go to commercial during fucking the pandering of Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. Give me a fucking break, WWE. I mean, this is what you did. And WWE continues to brag exclusive to Raw. Meanwhile, they throw it down your throat that it's exclusive to Raw. Meanwhile, it's not. Half of these guys are competing in NXT. How the fuck is it exclusive to Raw if NXT has Gulak and Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander all competing in the Dusty Rhodes Classic? How is it exclusive to Raw? Do you hear yourselves? No, it's not exclusive. But they want to continue jamming that down your throat. Meanwhile, do they appreciate any of this talent that they have exclusive to Raw? You're not going out of your way to fucking be proud of these guys to showcase their talent. They go on at 10:30. They give them less than 5 minutes. How am I supposed to be invested in these guys if you're going to put them on at 10:30 and you're not going to hype them up and then you're going to go to commercial during the fucking match? I can't get invested. Who gives a shit? You're making this a complete fucking travesty. Everything from the Cruiserweight Classic is absolutely fucking destroyed. Thanks to Vince McMahon. For whatever reason, I don't know. Meanwhile, this could be the best thing on the show. This could give Monday Night Raw that edge over SmackDown. And somehow, this show has gotten worse. Even with the Cruiserweights, this show continues to be miserable every single fucking week. And the last thing I want to mention here, because Goldberg was the main event. Remember when I told you that Rollins and Owens were going to be inside Hell in a Cell, right? And that Jericho lost because Kevin Owens interfered, and they had a little back and forth in the back after the match happened. Stephanie was like, "You two are my generals, right? I need you on the same page. I need you on the same team. I don't need any bickering. I don't need any fighting," right? Remember when I said that? So, what do? They book a match. They book a match for next week. I guess they forgot what they had scripted earlier in the show when Stephanie said that to both Owens and Jericho. So what they do for next week is that they put Rollins, Owens, and Jericho in a triple threat match. What happened to Stephanie McMahon's two leading generals not fighting? But now next week they're going to be in a triple threat match for what? Why are they in a triple threat match if Stephanie doesn't want these two guys fighting? Completely ass backwards from what she just mentioned earlier in the show. And why am I seeing the main event of Hell in a Cell as a part of a triple threat match a week before the pay-per-view? This company fucking sucks dick. Seriously, nothing makes sense. Absolutely nothing makes sense. I spent how long now ranting about this show? How many positives did I come across in this review? One. And it's from a 50-year-old part-timer who has a one-time deal against Brock Lesnar, who is also a part-timer. Nothing positive about the current talent. Nothing. But then you got some fucking goon in the comment, oh, SmackDown sucks. Really? You can watch Monday Night Raw and tell me that SmackDown sucks? You can watch Raw tonight and tell me SmackDown sucks. You are out of your fucking mind. Raw is in shambles. The WWE is in shambles. I mean, it comes to a point where fucking AJ Styles is defending the WWE Championship against a fucking jobber who Braun Strowman destroyed in 30 seconds. James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is more over than anybody on Monday Night Raw. If that doesn't tell you the fucking shambles this company is in right now, I don't know what else to tell you. You want real wrestling, you want someone who knows what they're doing, you watch my live stream when I book Monday Night Raw for you in a much more entertaining atmosphere. That's all I got to say about that. That's happening on Thursday. I'm done. I'm editing this. I'm uploading it. I'm going to sleep. Monday Night Raw fucking sucks. Goldberg came back tonight. That's about it. Hell in a Cell is looking like a fucking F-level Monday Night Raw on a Sunday night with something called a steel cage that's completely irrelevant in 2016. It's a dead concept that WWE is trying to fucking hang on to, you know? Oh, we're going to put Sasha and Charlotte inside this structure. It's still important now than it was back then. No, it's not. No, it's not. The only thing that's important to you is your fucking ego, Mick Mahan. Give me a fucking break. Raw sucks. This company's in shambles. And it continues to get worse and worse each and every fucking day. And if you don't like it, suck my dick. Period. Talk to you guys later.